Welcome to the You Are a Grown Up, You Can Do Whatever You Want podcast.
Where you can stop living for other people and start owning your own life and business. After all, if you are a grown up, you can do whatever you want.
We are your hosts, Ben and Kirsten Tyrell. This episode is brought to you by Passive Impact Academy. Visit PassiveImpact.com to learn how to build freedom in your life and business through passive income. Start your journey to financial freedom at PassiveImpact.com.
What's up, grown-ups? Welcome to another episode of the podcast. It's Monday. We hope you guys have a great weekend. We did.
And we have a big week planned.
Yeah,
ahead.
we do.
We have lots of stuff going on and some fun things to share with you.
Yeah, we do. Starting with, have you guys checked out the free course? We talked about that on Friday's episode. The free 8-week mindset makeover, millionaire mindset makeover. Yep. Yeah. And just to be clear, you don't have to have the aspirations to be a millionaire, but the people who are millionaires have this mindset, and we want to share that with you guys so that if that is your goal, like us, you can achieve the same thing. So go check that out if you haven't yet over on the website, youareagrownup.com. So how was your weekend?
It was busy.
What did you do?
What did I do?
You set up a photo booth.
Oh. I do a lot of things. I can't keep them straight. So I am relaunching our photo booth business here in Southern Utah. And I went and set it up at a nonprofit event, got some good exposure there. I didn't charge them for it and just kind of let people use it for free. And
it didn't cost you anything either.
No, it didn't cost me anything, just my time. But I think we got some good exposure there. Mm-hmm. People were really interested. It's interesting because it's such a small, there's not a whole lot of competition here.
No.
And, the people who are here, I think, are a little overpriced. So I'm thinking that we can probably come in a little lower and build a little bit more competition in the area.
Yeah.
I also booked
one. Yeah. You
for
booked a new event,
so.
Which is awesome because we have big goals, obviously financial goals. And for us to get, anytime you start a business, it's kind of daunting because it takes a long time to build traction. We've had a photography business before. It takes years. It's not something you can build in a few months' time.
Because it's all reputation. Mm-hmm. It's not, you could be the best photographer. You could be the best SEO expert. You could be the best website designer. But you're not going to get business unless you build that reputation.
Yeah, those referrals are important. That trust is important to build. But we don't really have the luxury of time. Like, we have a big goal. In 5 months, we want to have $1 million in the bank. So we're building up multiple income streams, that being one of them. Obviously, that's not going to make us $1 million, but it's going to be a good chunk of change if we can get things off the ground. So it's nice. And I just wanted to tell you guys, like, when you start anything or you have a big goal, sometimes it can swallow you a little bit and you get overwhelmed by it. I've been really overwhelmed the past couple of weeks, but breaking it down into smaller goals, and somehow it's almost like magic. When you're putting forth the effort and you're putting those good affirmations into the universe that we're going to book this photo booth, we're going to book it 10 times in the next month, it happens. Like, you can't always explain how. You've been advertising the photo booth for not very long, but you've had the website done. It's been up, and it's
been up, but I haven't really been actively advertising it. Mm-hmm. Maybe like a week.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's actually been pretty fast considering how long it's actually been active. Mm-hmm. But I think the thing though is, like, when you make those goals and you really start putting action to those goals, like, things are going to have to happen because you're working on them.
Yeah.
The only way that things happen is if you do it.
Yeah. You can't just, even with passive income, because we're big passive income enthusiasts, but that can't happen unless you put the work in. Like, anything is not going to happen unless you're putting not just like the time, but like the energy into it, the thoughts. Like, your thoughts have to be really positive with anything that you're attempting to do. You can't go into it thinking like, I hope this works out, or like, I'm just going to do just the bare minimum to barely skate by. Like we've talked about before with our photography business, you have to put a lot of positive effort into whatever it is that you're trying to grow. And you have to believe in it even when you hate it.
Yeah. Well, and you have to understand too, is like, people are investing in you and they're investing in your business. It may not be a big deal to you, but to your customer, they're investing in you and and the promise that you are providing to them as their, with your service or products.
That it's going to be good quality. Like if you're going to do something, do it really well.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of a tangent, I guess. So another thing that I think was really important this weekend is because we've had a lot of stress going on. We just relocated, we moved, like all the stresses that can happen. Like moving is a huge stress. And I've
Getting
struggled.
settled in.
We've all struggled, but I've struggled especially. And I don't know, I just had some really awesome experiences. And I think it's important for everybody to realize successful people have faith of some kind. Successful people, whether it's faith in the universe, faith in God. For us, we believe in God. And I just kind of had a little spiritual, not awakening, but just kind of a peaceful moment this weekend where I just had some realizations that apply in like church and also just in life and business. Anything can translate across the board, I think. But I felt really strongly just thinking about how hard it is to persist in your business as you're building it, because I'm an impatient person. I like to see results fast.
You're impatient?
Yes, I'm impatient. I'm very impatient. And if I don't see things happening, it's just hard to stay motivated. And I still will, but I get angry when I don't have the fast results, or even just results in general. Starting a business, it's going to take a good solid year for you until you see like a good return on the investment of your time. And so the persistence is hard to have alongside with the patience. But I was just realizing, time's going to pass anyway. The days and weeks and months are going to pass. It's better to be persistent and have that patience so that things will eventually happen. I mean, yeah, you can't grow a business overnight. You can't become a millionaire overnight. People do. They do become millionaires overnight when they create something that kind of takes off or catches fire. But
there's a lot of work that you don't see.
A ton of work that went in. They didn't just wake up one morning and they're like, I'm going to create an app. And the next day it was created. And the next day they're a millionaire.
Somebody might, but yeah, there's a lot more work and thought and energy into that whole process than we see.
But don't you think like the words, those concepts, persistence and patience seem to clash, like to go not really hand in hand? Like you're trying to be persistent, you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and that doesn't really allow a lot of room for patience because you're just wanting it and you're willing it to happen. But the patience has to be there, or else you're going to push too hard, and you can push too hard. You can burn yourself out, you can exhaust yourself, you can become frustrated when you don't see progress. But I don't know, I just thought it was really cool to realize those two words. The whole process of becoming successful requires both of those.
Yeah.
Persistence and patience, because I don't know, a lot of this industry too, like when you're serving people, you can't force anything down anybody's throat. You can't force your religious beliefs. You can't force your business beliefs. You just have to provide a service and find people who need it.
Yeah,
So,
and it takes time.
It does take time.
Always takes time.
Which stinks, but time's going to pass anyway. You might as well be doing something to build traction. And I feel like that's something that we've kind of realized and are trying really hard to do. We try not to waste any time. And that's something we want you guys to learn in the Free Mindset course too. We used to waste a lot of time with TV, with games on our phones. I mean, we were just like every other person.
Well, it's like you just kind of, like I would go to work, come home, we watch TV. Do you remember when we were in school? And I mean, granted, you were pregnant, but we had DVR and we had cable. And we would sit there and watch TV because we had all these shows recorded, and we felt it was like overwhelming because we're like, there's no way that we're going to catch up on
all the shows.
All of these shows.
And we're like, this is kind of a problem. Like, we're getting stressed out that we can't watch enough of our TV shows. And you're probably not doing as great in school as you could be because we're watching these shows. Like, it's so easy to feel like you deserve the luxury of TV. But the things you could be accomplishing in that time, like that is a whole episode for another day, which we will totally dive into. But even now, it's hard not to get sucked in. We started watching Friends on Netflix, and our productivity went way down.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll chat more about that later on this week. But we hope you guys are having a great Monday so far. For all of you entrepreneurs, I know Mondays are a fantastic day. For those of you still stuck in your 9-to-5 job, maybe you love your job. I don't know. But for those of you who have to dread Mondays, we're sorry. And we hope that you can eventually be a grown-up with us and do whatever you want with your day.
Because we love Mondays.
We love Mondays. We can't wait for Mondays to come.
I'm always so excited to, even though I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning,
by choice.
I'm excited to get up and get
conquer
the day going.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. All right. Anything else for them?
Nope.
All right. So again, this episode is sponsored by Passive Impact Academy. We've got some really great tools and tricks over there, just ways that we have built up our passive income streams. So go check it out, passiveimpact.com, and we'll see you guys on tomorrow's episode.
All right. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the You Are a Grown Up, You Can Do Whatever You Want podcast. For more information, visit us at youareagrownup.com.